let's meet the starting lineups for the Lakeshore Shorians. A 5'7" junior wearing number 2, Caitlin Hayden. A 5'2" senior wearing number 4, Maddie Connor. A 5'5" freshman wearing number 12, Riley Mott. A 5'5" senior co-captain number 22, Sydney Vanderhegen. And a 5'10" junior wearing number 42, Lindsay Jacob. The Shorians are coached by Chris Waz.
Hello again, basketball fans, and welcome inside Chippewa Valley High School. I'm Brad Fetters, joined by Brittany Packer, getting set to call the action tonight in girls varsity basketball. A matchup between the Lakeshore Shorians and the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Lakeshore High School. Number 2, junior Caitlin Hayden. Number 4, senior Maddie Connor. Number 12, freshman Riley Mott. Number 22, senior captain Sydney Vanderhegen. And number 42, junior Lindsay Jacob. As for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds, under the guidance of Jackie Maurer, they line up this way. Number 10, Grace Gutman. Number 11, Olivia Goralski. Number 12, Savannah King. Number 21, junior Jordan Monroe. And number 22, freshman Anshul Watson. This is a league contest, Brittany. MAC Blue, Chippewa Valley coming in with a 2-7 record, 1-2 in MAC Blue play. Lakeshore at the bottom of the standings with a 2-8 record, 0-3 in league play.
It looks like both teams are coming off a tough loss in their last matchup. Chippewa losing to Lakeview 17-55, and Cuzno beating out Lakeshore 46-29.
And it has been a struggle as of late for both teams. Chippewa Valley coming in losers of 2 straight. Fortunately for Lakeshore, they're currently in midst of a 5-game losing streak. So looking to come off the schneid, so to speak, here tonight. Chippewa Valley in their home jerseys, those home whites. Lakeshore in their road reds with black numerals. Nearly set to go, 8 minutes up on the big board. Tip is won and controlled by Chippewa Valley. Grace Gutman kick it over to the elbow, and pass is intercepted there by the junior Lindsay Jacob. Lakeshore coming up court. Riley Mott, the freshman, gonna run the point guard position. She wears 12 in red for the Shorians. She eyes the 3, misses it wide. Offensive rebound controlled by Vanderhegen. Goes up strong, no good. Chippewa Valley with the defensive rebound. Putting on the brakes, Gutman over the right wing side for Monroe. Monroe fakes, holding the ball high above her head's Goralski. Gutman drives right-hand side, drew a little bit of contact. No call. Sophomore able to lay it up and lay it in. 2-0 lead for Chippewa Valley.
She's going to be one to watch tonight, I feel. I was watching her during warm-up. She was really working on polishing up those threes.
Yeah, that was one thing you noticed prior to the start of tonight's contest. That Chippewa Valley was practicing their shots from long distance. This is a Chippewa Valley offense that has really struggled this season to generate points. Big Reds averaging just 25 points per game.
That would explain putting emphasis outside of the paint, hoping to rack up some 3-pointers.
You talked about their most recent loss on the road to Lakeview. Big Reds were only able to put up 17 points in that contest. So something's going to have to give here offensively for both of these teams, as the Shorians just average just a couple of fractional points under 34 points per game. So 2 low-scoring offenses. A good dish there by Monroe. Good idea, but she has her pass intercepted. So Chippewa Valley team that is playing short-handed. AJ Livesay out.
You noticed it was a 9-on-10 contest, so both teams seem to be lacking a few players.
Kennedy Weathers also out for Chippewa Valley, and by far the biggest injury is So Lakeshore chucks up another three and able to connect. It's senior Sydney Vanderhegen. Just getting ready to say the largest injury for Chippewa Valley is to Paige Marana. Junior has her left arm in a sling. Believe it's a shoulder injury for her. So Lindsay Jacob misses point blank, and the one we got a foul on the floor.
Chippewa struggling to snag a rebound under the basket there.
A little undersized, perhaps. Anshel Watson, the freshman for Chippewa Valley, the largest and tallest player on the floor right now for either squad. Little screen on that inbound pass from below the basket. Driving inside the lane. Block shot is the call. Comes out to the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way is missed. Out of bounds, possession over for the Big Reds. Get the sense here through a couple minutes of play. The freshman Riley Mott, 12 in red for the Shorians. Has that green light. She's unafraid to shoot, and she comes away with the steal now. Looks up ahead, finds Lindsay Jacob, who bounces the ball off of her foot and out of bounds. Score remains 3-2, possession back to Chippewa Valley.
I don't think she realized she was outside of the border when she reached for that ball.
Full court pressure being applied now by the Shorians. Chippewa Valley able to beat it with ease. Up the floor they go. Pass off the fingertips of Watson and out of bounds. Score still 3-2, 5:08 remaining in the first quarter. Mott slowly brings it up the floor. Dribbles the basketball over in her right hand. Fires a quick pass to Vanderhegen, who gives it right back. A little two-person action now between Mott and Vanderhegen. Mott has it over to Vanderhegen on the left side. Back to Mott. The Shorians ringing around the perimeter. Three-pointer off the hands of Connor. Goes long off the iron. And we got a tie-up.
Almost seems like the Shorians are trying to play a game of cat and mouse with Chippewa here, confusing them as to what their next move is going to be.
At some point, you're going to want to dribble that basketball and generate a little bit of penetration. Pass comes to the inside, going up strong with it. Hayden unable to connect. Gutman on the charge, up ahead, finds Monroe in the corner. Pops it out top once again, gets it right back. That's a long two. In and out, offensive rebound, and a foul called as it will send Savannah King to the free throw line. Both teams now with one team foul. That's the first, obviously, on Caitlin Hayden. Savannah King, a junior, takes her time, dribbles a basketball a handful of times before going up with the shot, misses everything. It's gonna get another chance here. Unable to connect on either one, but a terrific offensive rebound by Watson. Tough luck miss there for the Big Reds. Empty offensive possession. Mott has it. Long range three right in front of the Chippewa Valley bench. Knocks it down. Vanderhagen's second triple of the ball game.
She's been working outside the paint as well, it would seem.
Gralski wants the answer. Whistle from behind the play. It's going to be a traveling call against the Big Reds. 3:53 remaining, first quarter, 6-2 your score. Shorians in front of the Big Reds. Mott, the facilitator right now for the Shorians. Over to Vanderhegen. Talking to her head coach, Chris Gawaz. He indicated that Vanderhegen was his go-to scoring threat. She has played that part perfectly thus far for Lakeshore. Some secondary scoring now. Is Caitlin Hayden able to knock down the long-range deuce? 8-2 your score. The visitors from Lakeshore in the lead. And another steal.
She almost wasn't ready for that one.
Chippewa Valley really going to have to clean up their game. This hole they have dug themselves continues to grow a little bit larger. Vanderhegen going to go to the line. Foul called on Jordan Monroe, her first, second team foul in Chippewa Valley. Vanderhagen's first freebie is no good.
I'm almost shocked to see that. I was watching the Shorians warm up, and it seemed like they were almost perfect in terms of shooting free throws, at least from the line as they were practicing.
Leah Williams into the game for the Big Reds. Another look inside. Too easy right now as Lindsay Jacob lays it up and in.
Shorians really putting on that full court press on Chippewa Valley. It seems they've had a little bit of a tough time with the full court press against them. We've noticed that in previous games as well, especially against the Dakota game.
Chippewa Valley has made a couple roster moves as they brought up Abigail Johnson from the freshman squad. She's number 32 in white.
Leah Williams still on 2-2.
It's a big jump from the freshman team to the varsity.
It's almost shocking. I'm surprised they'd bring someone up from freshman versus JV.
So Leah Williams able to knock down the first of two free throws. In and out on the second, so split there for Williams. A foul on the floor. Called against Chippewa Valley, so basketball back to Lakeshore.
On Savannah King, her first.
10-3 lead for the Shorians. Little 1-2-2 look defensively for Chippewa Valley. Not applying any sort of pressure. Gonna allow Mott to bring this basketball up. Savannah King does check that, and it's rather Abigail Johnson gonna apply a little bit of pressure at the very top of that zone. Sydney Vanderhegen just gonna slow things down. She leads all scorers so far with 6 points. Bounce pass over to Mott, into the corner. Mott able to dig that ball out before it went out of bounds. Gutman with the steal. The sophomore glides in. Maybe that'll get the Big Reds going. Defense leading to offense. Johnson has come in, provide a little bit of spark defensively for Chippewa Valley. Mott eyes the three, wants the three, a little bit long up the side of the backboard. Outlet pass. Gutman thought about driving in, instead defers to Monroe. Pass sails out of bounds, costly turnover there for Chippewa Valley.
Gutman had her back turned a little bit to that pass. I don't think she was expecting it to come her way.
Tough to get back into a basketball game when you're turning the ball over. Vanderhegen, once again, will just slow things down, surveys the defense. Pass comes inside to Jacob, flips one back out for Vanderhegen. Being guarded this time by Monroe. Screen came, Vanderhegen turned it down, telegraphed that pass, intercepted by Johnson. Johnson puts on the brakes, fired one up, it was short. Offensive rebound went to Gutman, who stepped out of bounds.
It's a good effort to try and save that ball. It just didn't quite pay off the way she expected it to.
And they're gonna get a call against Vanderhegen, and a foul against the Lakeshore Shorians, so Basketball will stay with Chippewa Valley. A little bit of a surprise there. Didn't see much contact, but
I definitely missed the contact on that one myself.
corner three is no good. Battle for it. Chippewa Valley wins that battle, and now we're going to get a reach-in call. This time against Riley Mott. She was the guilty party. She was the help side defense that came in late and committed the foul. So fouls all of a sudden starting to pile up here for Lakeshore. That's their 4th team foul. Trapped. Gutman comes in to apply a little bit of help offensively, and another steal. Vanderhegen out in transition. She'll wait for some trailing teammates. She finds one in the form of Riley Mott. Mott gets it right back, swings it over to her right-hand side. Back to Mott on the bounce pass. Vanderhegen over to Mott. Very patient offense for Lakeshore.
Absolutely.
Finally, Chippewa Valley decides to come in, and they come away with the steal.
The
Trying to
passing
hurry.
game has been a
Ball's
bit dangerous.
kicked out of bounds with a half-second remaining in the first quarter. It'll be nearly impossible here to get a catch and shoot. See if the Lakeshore Shoreans are capable of doing it. More than likely, you're going to have to try to maybe get a volleyball tip underneath the basket. That's what they tried. Jacob was unsuccessful at doing just that. And the Shoreans on the road lead it 10-5. So stay right here on Chippewa Valley Cable as the two teams will huddle up and talk things over. Vanderhegen with 6 of the 10 Shorean points. Grace Gutman with 4 to lead all Big Reds in scoring. So we mentioned both of these teams playing out of the MAC Blue. So far it's been Lakeview, the Huskies, they're in the top spot along with Lance Cruz. Both of those teams a perfect 3-0 in MAC Blue play. Cousino comes into tonight's play with a 2-1 record. Chippewa Valley in 4th within the MAC Blue League with a 1-2 record. And then Lakeshore and Fraser tied for last with 0-3 records.
Chippewa's going to need a bit of a morale boost, hopefully, with this game, as they are going to be taking on Cousino in their next matchup next week, I believe.
Cousino, a perennial power within the girls' basketball and within the MHSAA, won a state championship a handful of seasons ago. Gutman gonna take off now, drove the lane, passed off any sort of penetration and kicked it back out. Long range 2 off the back heel. Jacob comes down with the rebound. It was a good look out of the quarter break. Abigail Johnson remaining in the lineup for Chippewa Valley. And zone defense, a little bit of a wrinkle applied by Jackie Maurer here. Mott 3, kind shooter's touch for Riley Mott. The third 3 of the game for the Shoreans. Hot shooting team is tough to beat. So far, Lakeshore has been just that. You can knock down from distance. That's a big-time game changer.
Chippewa's going to have to keep their eye on Mott and Vanderhegen if they want to stay in this game. They're not going to let them outside the paint.
Yeah, it's really a terrific 1-2 punch at that guard position for Lakeshore. Into the corner, going up tall to get it, Monroe. And they'll say that ball was tipped. That's why you didn't have an over and back call. Going up with the ball fake. Walker, block shot. Anshel Watson's shot was altered. Up ahead, Vanderhegen wants the 3. Oh, in and out, tough luck miss there. Jacob had the rebound momentarily before having the ball ripped out of her hands. Gonna get a foul call on Chippewa Valley. Grace Gutman It's going to be her second. Jordan Monroe takes a seat. Nice play out of the inbound pass. Samaya Cotton couldn't get the point blank shot to fall. 6.5 minutes remaining, first half of play. Shorians lead at 13-5. Goralski gonna have to inbound this. Jacob applying a little pressure on the inbound pass. We saw quite a bit of this in our broadcast of Chippewa's game against Dakota. Dakota was able to give Chippewa Valley all kinds of fits with their full court pressure. Shorian's taking a play out of the playbook of the Cougars.
Yeah, they've seen the Big Reds really struggle to overcome that full court press in that matchup.
Carly Chamberlain, number 13 in red, getting some action at that two-guard position. As Riley Mott sits down for a breather.
A well-earned breather, if you ask me. She's performed quite well in the first quarter and a half.
Paige Dandridge into the game as well for Lakeshore. First time we've called her name. Coach Guaz making some lineup changes. Chippewa Valley, really good breakout. Goopman shot no good. Tie-up possession arrow favors Lakeshore.
Chippewa struggling to get things started here. They need a good breakaway, get some points on the tally for them, hopefully boost their confidence and get things rolling.
Chippewa Valley extends that defense out a little bit further. Abigail Johnson came all the way out to the half-court line. Pass comes inside. Terrific bounce pass on the cut. Very nice half-court set as Lindsey Jacob gets the bucket. 15-5, largest lead of the night now. 10 points for the Shorians. It's a tough injury for Chippewa Valley to see Paige Morana out. She's going to be out for, one would assume, an extended period of time with her arm in a sling. Shoulder injury. Johnson's three off the back heel. Chamberlain comes down with the rebound. Chamberlain able to bounce and pass over to Dandridge. Dandridge across the Chippewa Valley logo at half court. A little bit of a 4-out look now for Lakeshore, with just Cotton down low. Cotton all the way out to the elbow as they extend the defense out. Chippewa Valley continues to play that zone defense. Wholesale changes coming into the game for Chippewa Valley. And now we're gonna get a timeout called. 30-second timeout.
Maurer looking a little frustrated with her team there. I noticed a few outbursts from her as she decided to make almost a full line change up there.
Well, they've gone over 3 minutes of the second quarter without scoring a point, as Lakeshore has outscored them 5-0 in this quarter. You mentioned that road contest with Cousino looming large for Chippewa Valley. They're going to go on the road for 3 straight, as they will take on the Patriots of Cousino, the Ramblers of Fraser, before hooking up with the Lancers of L'Anse Creuse. So 3 straight road games. Maybe that's what Chippewa Valley needs, to get on the road and get away from the comforts of home.
It is tough to win away games, though, but they need it, especially since those games are league play.
It's kind of been a home-heavy schedule to start the season. Chippewa Valley 1-5 here at home, 1-2 on the road. Leah Williams breaking out, finds Gutman in transition. Long range 2 is short. Williams able to track down the rebound, kicks it back out for Monroe. 15-footer is short. Gutman has it along the baseline. Monroe kicks it back out. A big shot, open.
Third time's a charm with that one.
Savannah King's first basket of the night. 15-7 now. Looking for an answer. The Shorians. Chamberlain unable to knock down that shot. Monroe. Ball bounds out of bounds into the Lakeshore bench.
And for the Shorians now is Maddie Connor.
Maddie Connor, the senior, back into the game for Lakeshore. The coach labeled her a shutdown defender. High praise for the senior.
He's been pretty true to his description of his players so far.
Coach Guaz, name I practiced before I went over and introduced myself.
It's definitely a tough one to pronounce on paper.
Savannah King went down injured. Now she's going to hobble over to the home bench. So another injury to the Big Reds. Anshel Watson in those green shoes back into the game.
Hard to tell if it's an ankle injury or a little bit of a cramp she's got going on there.
Definitely a lower leg as they look at her right foot. Yeah, by lifting up the toes, you kind of wonder if that's a cramp. Maybe a hamstring. Little turnaround jumper's no good. I will say last touch by Lakeshore. Gutman thought about the long range 2, turns it down. Williams went off, tried to bank it in, no good. Chamberlain able to beat her defender. Chamberlain puts on the brakes and double dribble. Little bit of hesitation that time out of the junior.
Chamberlain looked a little bit confused over the fact that she had a double dribble call there.
She definitely paused. Wasn't a clean dribble. And went back to dribbling. Easy call for the official right there on this near side to me. Gutman, we're gonna get a, let's see here. We can get a whistle. Everybody stops and looks. And they're gonna get it on Lakeshore. Maddie Connor gonna get called for the foul. 3:04 remaining first half. Brad Fetters alongside Brittany Packer from high atop the gymnasium here at Chippewa Valley. Bringing you the sights and sounds of this girls varsity MAC Blue matchup. The Chippewa Valley Big Reds in the Lakeshore Shorians. Cotton rips down the defensive rebound. Here comes Vanderhegen. Quiet in the second quarter. She's able to knock down 2 triples back in the first. So her lone 6 points in the game. Chamberlain has it, goes into the corner for Hayden. Back up top to Chamberlain. They swing it around the perimeter once again. That's kind of been the name of the game for Lakeshore throughout this basketball game. Now they look to dump it down inside. Skying up and getting the shot to fall is Vanderhegen.
Proving she can do more than just nail those threes.
Yeah, she has been as good as advertised. I asked Coach Guaz, give me one player to pay attention to tonight in your lineup. He indicated right away, Sydney Vanderhegen. Chamberlain has it, looks up ahead, finds Vanderhegen. That's her sweet spot. And goes off the rim and over top the net and out of bounds.
Rather an unusual bounce to see.
And it took a huge carom, didn't it? Up into the stanchion. Old school nets here in the valley. Koopman goes up. Shorians continue to distance themselves from the Big Reds. 10's kind of been the magic number. Chippewa Valley really hasn't been able to cut into that lead. 17-7. Cross-court pass into the hands of Hayden. She eyes the three, comes up short with the air ball. Connor able to get the offensive rebound, goes back up top to Chamberlain. Good cut. Second time we've seen that look out of the Shorians. As Cotton comes up with the deuce. And now Chippewa Valley will call a timeout with under a minute left in the first half. 19-7 your lead. Other games from around the MAC Blue tonight. Cousino taking on Lance Cruz. And Lakeview traveling to take on the Ramblers of Fraser. Really good one taking place tonight in the MAC Red as the Port Huron Big Reds are taking on Chippewa Valley's top rival, the Dakota Cougars. Dakota off to a perfect 2-0 start in MAC Red play. Port Huron comes into play tonight with a 3-1 record. So that's arguably the best game in the Macomb Area Conference tonight.
Dakota making their last win over Growth Point South look like an easy one earlier this week.
That was a game we called right here on Chippewa Valley Cable. If you're a fan of the Cougar program, you can watch that one in its entirety on our YouTube page. Search Chippewa Valley Sports, all of our programming available to you on YouTube. Why don't you subscribe to the channel as well? That's the easiest way to do things. And then you get email notifications when everything's available to you. So another turnover there for the Big Reds. Today has been a struggle offensively. Just 2 points here in the second quarter. They've been outscored 9-2. As Jackie Maurer continues to coach, suggesting 2 hands next time. Goopman pulls up, finds Abreu Unson blocker. Goopman calls for it by a clap of a hand, gets it right back. And I think that was a shot, but it worked out because it went right to Leah Williams.
It was almost intentional, right? Yeah.
Sure, we'll
She
say
meant
so.
to do that.
Shorians gonna have to beat the clock. They will do just that as the shot sails long and wide. The buzzer sounds to indicate halftime. The two teams will head to their respective locker rooms with the Shorians in front 19-9. Take a quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. But when we come back, it'll be the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin. Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
Welcome back inside the Valley. Chippewa Valley girls varsity basketball. Chippewa Valley Big Reds trailing the Lakeshore Shorians 19-9 your score. Brad Fetters alongside Brittany Packer. Sydney Vanderhegen of the Lakeshore Shorians leading all scorers with 8 first half points. And you noticed something throughout that first half that may have given the Shorians a leg up on the competition here tonight.
Yeah, every time Chippewa Valley misses a basket on their side, it's nothing but a sea of red in the key. I believe Chippewa needs to put a little bit more emphasis on watching the ball, boxing out, being prepared to get their own rebound.
Shorians have controlled the glass at times. Gutman goes to her left, kicks it out to Goralski. See what kind of offensive performance the Big Reds can come up with here in the second half. It was a struggle throughout the first. This is a team that this season has struggled to get going, but Leah Williams gets the first points of the second half. We talked about it throughout that first half. It's a Chippewa Valley team that's only averaged 25 points per game, and they are playing short-handed here tonight, and a steal and a foul. Goralski came up with the takeaway. So a little bit of energy that was perhaps missing in the first half being displayed now by the Big Reds.
Something went down in that locker room. Mauer sounding a little bit hoarse here.
Driving to the right. And they'll say it was tipped out of bounds by Lakeshore. Bit of a break there for Chippewa Valley. Jordan Monroe to throw it in. Very vocal coaching staff for Chippewa Valley. Tiptoeing the half-court line and stepping over was Gutman. Good recognition on her part to realize that ball wasn't tipped. But unfortunately for her, she couldn't keep it on her offensive side of the half-court line.
Looking over at the Chippewa bench over there, I noticed Savannah King still limping around. I wonder if we'll see her return to this game at all.
That's a long-range 2, foot on the line. Chippewa Valley gonna come up with the basketball after the Shorians could not save it. Vanderhegen that did her best. Dump down inside. A couple players get tangled up. Dangerous looking play. Lindsey Jacob fell down for the Shorians. Gonna have to get this basketball in to avoid the 5-second call. They do just that. Going up with the ball, fake Monroe. Back out, Goralski pulls up from the free throw line. Very patient offensive set here for Chippewa Valley as they try to get turned aside once again. A little crossover dribble, another hard collision. That's Vanderhegen down, and a three-pointer.
Be a tough loss there for the Shorians if Vanderhegen had gotten hurt on that play.
And now we'll get a timeout, and Vanderhegen will in fact come off. It was Riley Mott that knocked down the 3. Vanderhegen gonna take a seat.
Looking quite frustrated as she does so.
Yeah, she doesn't appear to be injured. She just looks rather upset. Williams goes up. Nothing but net on that too. So Leah Williams has come out of the locker room red hot. She has all 4 of the Big Red points here in the third quarter. Cross-court pass. Connor eyes the 3, tried to use the glass to her advantage, comes up empty. Jacob has it, go back up to Mott. Over to Connor. Connor drives the lane, goes up strong with the bunny. She too may have made some knee-to-knee contact as she grabs her knee. Gutman hands off to Goralski. Williams picks up her dribble. Pass deflected out of bounds by Dandridge.
And now for the Big Reds is Abigail Palmer.
There almost looks like a little bit of a Shorian hand on that outbound throw, but apparently the refs say it is Shorian ball.
Now, the Victorians is Sydney Vanderhegen and somebody.
I apologize. I called Abigail Palmer Abigail Johnson in that first half. Abigail Palmer, a recent addition to the varsity roster since the last time we saw this team. Palmer, a sophomore. Apologies once again to Abigail Palmer. And Mott continues to rain down threes. Her third triple of the game. Going up strong with the lay-in attempt until Watson was fouled.
Collins by Cotton. Her first.
Cotton's first foul. Second team foul here in the second half. So 4:46 left in the third quarter. Watson able to knock down the first. Offensive rebound. Snared there by Chippewa Valley. Gutman slows things down, gets a little bit of a screen, a little pick and roll action. Unable to convert was Watson. Footer is good. Jordan Monroe.
Beautiful shot there from Monroe.
A big possession there for Chippewa Valley as they pick up 3 points. Lindsey Jacob. Good to see Vanderhegen back in the game. And we're going to get a reach and foul call. It's Jordan Monroe.
She looked a little frustrated with herself there, knew what happened as it was happening.
Paige Dandridge to trigger the basketball. Bounces one quickly to Cotton. Cotton telegraphed that pass. Gutman out in transition. Lays it off the front of the rim. The finger roll.
King testing that leg injury out on the sideline. It looks like she's feeling up to a little more basketball this evening.
It's been a much better quarter of basketball out of the Big Reds as they have doubled up their first half scoring. Outscoring the Shorians here in this third quarter, 9-6. 2 Mott threes have been huge for the Shorians. Contact, let's see. Ariana Walker can't believe it. She thought she had her feet planted. Mouth agape there. She gets called for the block. And I think Walker had a little bit of a beef there. I think she might have been set in time and drew that charge.
Yeah, I was waiting for the call on that one as well. I was thinking a charge as well.
Vanderhegen, snake bit at the line. She's 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Finally comes up with a make. Gives her 9 points now in the ball game. Lead back up to 8. Gutman's pass in and out of the hands of King and out of bounds.
Coach Maurer asking for a little more pressure out of her team.
Chippewa Valley will, in fact, apply a little bit of that full court pressure. Abigail Palmer, defensive stopper for the Big Reds. contact there. Coach Maurer wanted a travel call. Might have also had a 3-second violation as well. Shorians will slow things down now. Going up with the bunny, no good. Offensive rebound, and finally dragged down by Walker. Up ahead to Palmer. Tapped out of bounds. Stay with Chippewa Valley, 2:56 left to go in the third quarter. Monroe to throw things in, finds King. Gutman on the cut. A little flat-footed two from Walker.
It was a beautiful play there by the Big Reds.
On Jordan Monroe, her third.
Foul on the floor.
It almost looked like King tried to hop on the back of Samaya Cotton there.
First, second.
Second personal foul on King. Cotton once again twists and turns. That's going to be back-to-back fouls on Savannah King.
Foul on Savannah King, her third.
That's going to be a third foul on King. First free throw, no good.
Anshel Watson in for the Big Reds.
Anshel Watson back in, replaces King. King in that foul trouble. Second no good as well. So 1 for 5 from the line tonight are the Shorians. Gonna get foul on the floor as Gutman was trying to drive in.
Charlie Chamberlain following that foul. Leah Williams now in for the Big Reds.
So Coach Maurer really shaking up her lineup, trying to find the right combination here in this third quarter.
And Conrad for the Shorians.
Team's struggling a little bit, trying to figure out what exactly it is Coach Maurer wants from them.
And Coach Maurer directing traffic from her sideline. Gutman bodied up a little bit. Hard to tell if it was a foul on the floor or still
Everyone
not
looks
sure.
a little confused.
Officials are going to talk this one over, I think.
I think it was who had the last hand on the ball.
So we'll say Chippewa Valley basketball. Smattering of applause from a crowd here on a Friday night that is 50-50 split, I'd say, between Shorian fans and Big Red supporters.
It's a little thin for a Friday night.
Palmer might have got away with a little bit of a travel there. And now we'll get a backcourt violation.
Jordan Monroe in for the Big Reds.
Monroe checks back in, replaces Anshel Watson. Riley Mott back into the game for Lakeshore. She has 9 points, all on shots from distance. She catches in the backcourt, a little bit of a high dribble. Tries to cross over her defender. Got bailed out by the fact that Palmer touched the basketball. A little scoop shot by Vanderhegen, and she will go back to the line.
Almost looks like the injured Paige Miranda over on the Big Reds bench, drawing up some strategy for her teammates.
And always nice to have a secondary coach. Would rather see Miranda on the floor. And they clearly miss her presence running the point. That's a big blow for this Big Red squad. Vanderhegen able to make good on both free throws. Lead back up to 8. Timeout on the floor. Lakeshore going to take a full timeout. Minute and a half left to go in the third quarter of play. 28-20. Shoreans out in front. As we mentioned, the Chippewa Valley upcoming schedule for Lakeshore. They get to return home, as they've kind of been the opposite of that Big Red schedule. They've completed 6 games on the road, 6 of 10 to start the season have been on the road, so it'll be a welcome back to the Lakeshore area for them as they will take on Fraser, L'Anse Creuse, and their rivals from Lakeview. Upcoming games, all 7:30 tips. Their home games. Mac White, interesting start to the season. L'Anse Creuse North once again just beating up on the competition. Crusaders off to a 10-1 start, a perfect 3-0 in Mac White play. Trailing them in the standings overall is Ford with a 9-2 record, but they too are a perfect 3-0 in Mac White play. And those two teams are playing tonight. Jordan Monroe knocks the long range 2 down.
She had a good open look at that one.
Yeah, Monroe, a little bit of a knockdown shooter.
Abby Palmer, her first.
And Abby Palmer picks up the foul. That's going to be a 1-and-1. So it's the 7th personal foul on the Big Reds.
It's a foul I did not catch with my own eyes.
Riley Mott at the line, 2-point line.
So bonus basketball the rest of the way for Lakeshore. Free throws the rest of the way. Team that's 3 of 8 from the line thus far. Mott's first is no good. Bojevic able to come down with the rebound. And just too many turnovers tonight for the Big Reds. Every time they seem to mount a charge, they've trimmed that 10-point deficit down to 6. They turn the ball over. Trailed 10-5 after 1 quarter. 19-9 was a halftime deficit. So they have definitely outscored and outplayed Lakeshore here in this third quarter.
Whatever was said in that locker room really seemed to work for these Big Reds. They got a lot more pep in their step here in the second half.
Gutman out in transition. Finds Monroe, puts a little shimmy shake on. And we'll give it right back to Gutman. Gutman has trouble with the basketball. Coach Maurer asking for timeout. She's going to get bailed out by the official. And will finally be granted that timeout as Monroe is able to grab hold of the basketball.
Ball would have easily went out of bounds had the official not been standing in its way. It'd be interesting what kind of call that would have went if the timeout had not have been called.
So a bit of a break there for Chippewa Valley for sure. So we'll turn into a full timeout with 50.2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Reds have outscored the Shorians 13-9 here in this third quarter. Leah Williams, 4 points in this quarter to give her 7 in the game. Leah Williams leading all Big Red scorers with those 7 points. Off the bench, role player for head coach Jackie Maurer. She's had to alter her lineup and her roster makeup. Abigail Palmer and Bianca Bojevic, latest additions to this roster. Chippewa Valley gonna take a look at a play that was similar to what Lakeshore ran throughout that first half. And we're gonna get a shooting foul. So Palmer was in the act of shooting there. So Palmer will go to the line to shoot 2.
They're going to have to watch that passing game there. I noticed a few times for the Shorians that game of cat and mouse resulted in a turnover.
So that was the 3rd foul on Riley Mott. So she is officially in foul trouble now. We'll see how long Coach Waz wants to keep her out there. Abigail Palmer knocks down the first. Don't look now, but the Big Reds are in this basketball game. They trail by 5. Tough luck miss as that hit the back and front of the iron and would refuse to fall. Vanderhegen charges, takes a fall. That's a 3. That's a big bucket for Jacob. Boy, oh boy.
It's a name we haven't heard too much of here in this quarter.
Bojevic shot short, offensive rebound, buzzer sounds. And that will do it. 3 quarters in the books. The Shorians with the lead, 31-23. Keep it right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Brittany, your thoughts after 3 quarters of play?
Well, I think Chippewa took note of what I had mentioned before we started this quarter, that they definitely needed to work on their ability to pick up these rebounds. They're showing a lot of improvement in that area. Now, I don't know what Coach Guaz is going to say to motivate his team, but they need to do something to slow down these Big Reds or they're going to put their win in jeopardy.
Some hot shooting from outside has been the Shorians' MO here tonight. They have knocked down 6 shots from beyond the arc, including 2 by Vanderhegen, 2 by Mott. No, check that, 3 by Mott. So 3 triples for Mott, 2 for Vanderhegen, and the latest from Lindsay Jacob. And perhaps the largest shot of this game was that 3 by Jacob.
Haven't seen too many long distance attempts from Chippewa in this game, shockingly.
No, the Big Reds have not knocked down a triple. All of their points have been either earned on the free throw line or 2-point buckets. So it'll be Shorian basketball to start the 4th quarter. 8 minutes left now in regulation. They quickly get the ball in. Lindsay Jacob with 7 points in the ball game. She gets it right back on the give and go. Nearly had it stripped. Vanderhegen able to track that basketball down. Connor lost it, regained it, had it stripped, and now we're gonna get a foul on the floor.
A lot more pressure being added by these Big Reds here in the second half of play.
And this will be free throws as Connor's kind of bent over. She appears to have hurt herself on that last play. So Connor's going to check out of this game. That's why the sub stayed at the scorer's table. She's going to go in for the shooter, Connor. Connor misses, but it will stay with the Shorians. Dandridge, the latest Shorian into the game. We're going to get another foul on the floor.
Dangerously close to the baseline on that play.
Foul on Savannah King. Her fourth.
That's King's 4th foul. So she will have to come out. She's going to be replaced by Watson.
Watson in for the Big Reds. Lindsay Jacob at the line.
Jacob able to knock down the first.
Come in at 1.
Earns a second. High arcing free throw. That didn't touch anything, so it's automatically over to Chippewa Valley. Full court pressure being applied by Lakeshore. They get it up to Palmer now. Palmer, 3-on-1 if Chippewa Valley is able to hurry. And we might have rushed that pass just a bit. Another turnover. What could have been here tonight for Chippewa Valley. Terrific ball movement there. Jacob unable to connect. But following up the miss with a make is Cotton.
Pressure paying off there for the Shorians.
Gutman, 3-on-1 again for Chippewa Valley. Gutman passes it off to Watson. Watson had her shot altered. And now a frustration foul applied by Chippewa Valley. That'll be the 10th team foul, so double bonus now the rest of the way for the Shorians.
That could be dangerous with so much time left in this game.
Yeah, 6:45 left in regulation. Have 2 free throws the rest of the way. Really grow this 11-point lead. Big Reds got it within 6. Nearly had a lane violation there on Monroe.
Now for the Big Reds is Bianca Boyovich and Olivia Goralski.
Goralski and Boyovich into the game. So it's a split for Dandridge. Full court pressure nearly resulted in another turnover for Lakeshore. Goralski catches. Up ahead to Boyovich. Williams has her pocket picked. Mott yo-yos the basketball. Vanderhegen getting those instructions from her head coach, stressing the importance of patience. No need to rush things with a 12-point lead. Over 6 minutes left in regulation.
Unfortunately, it looked like she bounced that one off her own foot and out of bounds.
And pass out of the reach of Abigail Palmer, and now we're gonna get a timeout called by Lakeshore. It's never too early to look ahead to the postseason. Give you district assignments. Obviously, we don't know how the bracket's going to shape out. As MHSAA brackets teams based on their regular season record. But for Chippewa Valley, they will travel to Lance Cruz. The Lancers are going to be the host team. Along with Chippewa Valley, it'll be Stevenson, Utica, and Ford. So a mix of Mac White and Mac Blue schools, and that's an absolutely loaded district. That one's, you're really gonna have to earn your way out of that district. The Lakeshore Shorians are gonna travel to Sterling Heights. Stallions will host that district, along with Fraser, Roseville, and Lakeview, a mix of Mac Blue and Gold schools. So I think Coach Guaz really stressed the importance of patience in that last timeout. As the Shorians continue to pass the basketball around. Goralski comes out of the mix with the basketball, gets out in transition and can't complete the lay-in. And more than likely the Shorians, as soon as they get the ball over the half-court line, will put on that little bit of a stall offense now. Driving baseline, getting fouled. Only the line to shoot two will be Dandridge.
Leah Williams, her first. Paige Dandridge to the line.
Dandridge with just 1 point in this game so far.
Yep, came via the free throw. She wastes no time, stepping up to the line, misses the first.
Now into the Shorians is
Hayden back into the game for Lakeshore. Has exceeded their average on offense here tonight. It's 36 points, well over their average of 33.8. Big Reds approaching their season average of 25 points per game. Five-out look now for Chippewa Valley. Goralski over to Palmer. And Chippewa Valley gonna take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. 4:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. Teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Mentioned Lakeshore looking to put an end to a 5-game losing streak. This was a Lakeshore squad that finished the season last year with a 5-10 record. Lost their lone meeting with Chippewa Valley last year, 38-22. Big Reds finished last year with a 6-10 mark. Been a very difficult schedule for Chippewa Valley. Really taking on the cream of the crop with Ford getting off to that really good start. Obviously Dakota, a team that's absolutely loaded in MAC Red play, and you were absolutely locked in with Port Huron. Dakota leading that game at the half, 24-21. Long range two, high arcing shot, nothing but net for Caitlin Hayden.
It's a good decision on Cotton to pass it over to her, noticing she was wide open there off to the side.
Boy, that looked good the minute it left Hayden's hands. Palmer drives the right-hand side. One and done once again offensively for the Big Reds. Lead up to 15 now for the Shorians. 38-23, 4:10 left to go. See if they go with that stall offense. Chippewa Valley applying some pressure, and the result of that is a turnover. End of the Shorian bench there. We got a player having some popcorn taken in the game. It's a unique look. Don't know if I've ever seen that from a bench.
Can't say that I have either. She looks to be enjoying herself, though.
Yeah, well, I guess if you know you're not going to play, you might as well enjoy it. Total team effort out of the Shorians here tonight. 6 different Lakeshore players have factored into the scoring. Foul on the Big Reds will put Lakeshore back on the free throw line. It's the 5th foul on Savannah King, so she has officially fouled out of this basketball game.
It's going to hurt these Big Reds. She's been a pretty key player in this matchup.
Now, for a team that's already short-handed, they just need the numbers right now. So losing King for the rest of this game does not help out. Gutman picked up her dribble, has her pass intercepted. Hayden out, unable to hit. Dandridge rips down the rebound, but it's Gutman once again. Stops. Had the ball knocked out of her hand, so technically she could dribble. Instead, she'll go over to Palmer. And we're going to get a foul call against Mott. She disagrees. It's her 4th, so she is in danger of falling out of this basketball game, and she'll be quickly replaced in the lineup by Carly Chamberlain.
Shortage in numbers really working against these Big Reds. I've noticed Gutman looking a little exhausted in today's matchup, having some trouble holding on to the ball, perhaps feeling a little overworked.
Yeah, she has played the majority of this basketball game. A little fake there by Palmer. She floats up a shot, no good. Long rebound comes out to Gutman. She eyes the 2 and comes up short, out of bounds.
I think that little bit of hesitation there before she shot that might have led to her missing that shot.
Yeah.
Olivia Goralski now into the Big Reds.
Yeah, sometimes those wide open shots are the hardest to knock down. She had plenty of time to even read the label on the basketball before going up with that one. Shorians get it to the front court. Catching at the free throw line, another steal. Goralski up ahead to Gutman.
Too much strength in that shot.
Now it's Lakeshore on the breakout. And Vanderhegen catches and slows things down. Along with Chamberlain, the 2 guards out on the floor. Dandridge hoists. Can't hit. Monroe to trigger things in for Gutman. Gutman only a sophomore, so she'll be around for a couple years for head coach Jackie Maurer. That's a 2. Another hard foul down below. I think one positive perhaps that the Big Reds can take away, especially the second half, is they've done a much better job rebounding. They haven't scored yet here though in the 4th quarter. Still haven't, as Watson misses the first.
Avery wants some blocker in for the Big Reds. Grace Hankey in for the Shorties.
Haven't seen much of Unson Blocker in this game.
She's out there now, 14 and white. Here's the first point for Watson here in the 4th. Gives Anshul Watson, the freshman, 2. 39-24. 2:05 left to go in the 4th quarter. Oh, a little give and go. That was pretty. Very nice play by Dandridge. Got harmed going to the hoop, so she'll shoot 2. Fouls really beginning to pile up now for the Big Reds.
Dandridge infamously splitting most of her 3 free throws in this matchup.
Yeah, she's 2 of 4. Very unique take on the free throw shooting as she catches the basketball, I'd say a good 3 steps from the free throw line, kind of spins it, and toes the line and immediately goes up with the shot. It's a very strange free throw stroke. And
for the Shorians, it's Grace Vandenstorm.
Bogovic wanted to give the referee her hair ties, and he really didn't want any part of them. In fact, he's bald, so they really can't help him much. So she'll toss him over to the side. We continue to play on. 40-24 your score. Oh, nice move inside. Good drive, counted in the foul.
That basket is good.
Chippewa needed some excitement here. That was a pretty good provider of that.
Dandridge.
Sure got the public address announcer excited. One of his more enthusiastic calls of the night. Williams freebie's no good. Defensive rebound by the Shorians, out in transition. Looking to put the finishing touches on a really impressive road victory here tonight. Oh, good harassing defense by Unsen Blocker. Blocker goes up with the shot, no good. Tapped around, and they'll say Shorian basketball. And Chippewa Valley refusing to go away, down 14 points. And keep the full court pressure on. And a battle for it. Our very own Jeff Vitale keeping us updated as to what's going on in that Dakota game. Cougars in front of Port Huron 37-33 after 3. So that'll be a big win for Dakota if they're able to hold on against Port Huron. That would even them up with Grosse Pointe North in the MAC Red standings. However, Grosse Pointe North taking on a Port Huron Northern squad that struggled, so more than likely Grosse Pointe North will move to 4-0 within the MAC Red. Dandridge able to knock down the first. 41-26 your score. Minute 19 remaining in regulation. Dandridge looking like a pure shooter there. Boralski gets it over the timeline, crosses over to defender, gets a little bit of a screen, fires a quick pass over to Monroe. Monroe yo-yos it in her right hand, works around a screener herself, kicks it into the corner for Williams. Williams drives baseline, backs down her defender, shot blocked. Williams unable to cleanly catch the rebound, and the ball will go back over the Shorians. 42-26, under a minute now left in regulation. Unsen Blocker with the steal. She's had a couple of those here in the fourth quarter. And charging call, offensive foul.
That's an easy call for the refs. A little too enthusiastic on that one with her Unsen Blocker.
And Big Red's gonna have a little bit of a laugh over that, including head coach Jackie Maurer. So glad to see soft side of a tough loss here tonight.
Big Reds still seem in pretty good spirits despite the scoreboard.
Well, you knew it was going to be an uphill climb the rest of the way without arguably your top player in the lineup. And T.C. Smith was a player that they were going to count on. She's no longer really available. Kennedy Weathers is out. Obviously, Morano's hurt.
It's a Friday night, so you gotta smile no matter what.
AJ Livesey out as well. Ariana Walker no longer on the roster.
That ball bouncing off the backs of a few players before heading out of bounds that match.
Chippewa Valley gonna play this one out. Mott catches. And Chippewa Valley now gonna back off maybe just a little bit. Nope, thought maybe perhaps the bench was saying no pressure. Instead it goes over to Goralski on the steal. She lays it up and lays it in. And buzzer sounds. Final score. Shorians from Lakeshore 42, your Big Reds 28. Brittany, your final thoughts here tonight on a tough loss for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds.
Well, if anything, the Big Reds can use this as a learning experience to focus more on boxing out, catching some rebounds. However, it is good to see them in good spirits, as I mentioned before, not seem to be taking this loss too tough. But, you know, what can you do? Like you said, they're short players, key players, but I think they still put up a pretty good fight.
Well, that'll do it for our coverage here tonight. I'd like to thank our hardworking Chippewa Valley cable crew. Once again, the final score of the Lakeshore Shorians 42, Chippewa Valley Big Reds 28. Thank you so much for watching this Chippewa Valley Cable Television production. We'll see you next time.